can get those bridges across those rivers, and it can enhance fast communication in terms of whatever. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now your answers are becoming short. Oh no, but the second one has to do with the large tracts of land along that enclave. Talk about the rice fields and then the other lands that is very suitable for mango. Will you consider bringing investors there to come and look at the rice fields and then the mango fields that are lying there idling?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, if you look at the land, it is not for nothing that we have these large tracts of land. Ghana, if we are saying we want to modernize agriculture, definitely you need land to farm. So I am appealing to people, business people who want to go into farming as a business from down south, because I've seen people who have done big farms from Bro Ahafu to Kumasi to Volta. They should now come to northern region when I go, because very soon it will be peaceful, so that they'll come and take lands through, see the chiefs and take lands to farm, so that our youth will get jobs, they will engage themselves in productive activities, and by the end of the day, the income levels will improve and poverty will reduce among our people. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Samuel.
Most grateful, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Salifu Saeed, I want to seek your knowledge on President Akufo-Addo's plan to divide the northern region. You will be regional minister if given the nod, and you are to advise him on regional matters. What will be your advice to His Excellency the President if given the nod, especially about this division, whether he should proceed and the boundaries? How do you advise that it should be done?
Mr. Chairman, if this House approves my proposal to become the Northern Regional Minister, I will consult the chiefs. Actually, the chiefs are the custodians of the region, and if we consult them and they come to appreciate the need to divide the region, it will make it very easy for His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo to see the people who he can get to do the work, so that by the end of it all, the region will be divided, and it will really help Ghana, not only the region but Ghana. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
My second question has to do with your role as regional minister, possible chairman of, when nominated, you will certainly be the chairman of RegSec, as our constitution stipulates. I'm interested in flashpoints and how we can be more proactive as leaders. I've been receiving several messages from good friends in the region about tensions between settlers and kingmakers, and sometimes settlers who are not kingmakers want to assume the responsibilities of kingmakers. I get a lot of messages from places like Nanung and other places. Has this come to your attention? How do you intend to be proactive in addressing some of these flashpoints?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fortunately, we have stakeholders, and if you look at it, some of them are ethnic based, some are clan based, and we already have existing youth groups. Like, for instance, we have the Gonjaland youth, we have Dogbon youth. So what we need to do is for me to really, unfortunately, even when we come to the politicians, we have the Northern Caucus. And I can tell you, even though you see yourselves as politicians, you know a lot and you have a lot. And you have some influence that you people cannot imagine. Our people have a lot of trust in us. So I believe that if we come together...
You people, please watch it. It is not an acceptable balance here. Please, avoid using it again, please.
With due respect, I apologize and I've withdrawn it. Fortunately, honorable members, you have some degree of influence on our people that if we really recognize that and we all come together and take the politics out of whatever we want to do and look at issues from the development lenses, I can assure you that some of these disagreements will just be mere disagreement, but it will not lead to violent confrontation among interested parties. So thank you very much. This is what I can say.
My final question, Mr. Chairman, is on the tourism potential of the northern region. I've really been impressed with what is happening at the Morley Park. It's now a really transformed place, and I want to use this opportunity with Chairman's permission to advertise the park. What is happening there is really, really amazing. The Fufusu Solar Road too has really helped. So you can use the John Mahama Fufusu Solar Road, and you can really enjoy the Morley Park. Looking at that model, what will be your vision? How can you replicate this? Because we know the northern region has many other beautiful sites that can really help us with tourism, domestic tourism, and attracting tourists from outside the jurisdiction. What will be your vision for tourism? And if you can list some of the tourist centers that you are particular about.
Mr. Chairman, if this August House approves my nomination, what I will do is that as the regional minister, I will try to see how there can be partnership among the sector ministries. The region will partner with RUS, with Ministry of Tourism and Education, because yes, the model on the Fufusu solar thing is very good. Even I would like them to replicate it in the Eastern Corridor. The road hasn't been constructed. So if we do that, schools and other infrastructure, if they factor them in, it will help a lot. And tourism earns a lot of revenue to the country. So it behoves on all stakeholders for us to consciously really assist to develop potential areas of tourism, so that by the end of the day, the revenue basket will be improved. And when it is done, we'll be able to do a lot of interventions that will alleviate poverty among our people. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Muntaka.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I take the opportunity to congratulate the nominee for his nomination to the Northern Region. Mr. Chairman, I just want to ask, if you look at the MPP manifesto, page 50, talk about the taking advantage of the Bagri Dam spillage for irrigation purposes. But I believe the nominee, having traveled across the whole three northern regions, knows that any time the spilling is done, the currency with which the water flows destroy property and sometimes even lives. What will he do, if given the nod, to ensure that, yes, the water is used, but properties and lives are saved?
Mr. Chairman, the Bagre Dam, if this House approves my nomination and I become the Northern Regional Minister, I will partner with my colleagues, regional ministers like Upper East, Upper West, because the effects or the impact of it cuts across these three regions of the North. And we will be able to turn that perennial disaster to an opportunity, because if we are able to develop canals, we get experts to develop irrigation canals, dams. In fact, it will fit very well into His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo one village, one dam concept, so that some of the communities that this water runs through and it floods the farms, consciously, experts, Irrigation Development Authority will be engaged to look at it, even if they don't have the expertise in Ghana here. There are some other countries that they are doing very well in irrigation development work. They can come and look at it, and then we'll be able to develop things that will trap the water, and it can be used for the dry season, vegetable production and other things. That is what I'm looking at.
Well, Mr. Chairman, the same manifesto talks about one village, one dam. He knows that in the north, there are a lot of villages or some even smaller towns that have these dams, and the people drink from it, animals drink from it, and what have you. Now, he's also told us that his work has taken him the length and breadth of not only northern region, but other regions in the north. Just for northern region, do you have an idea how many villages there are in northern region?
You see, northern region already, generally, if you look at it, is rural in nature. We have a lot of communities, some of them, because of the bad road networks, it's difficult to even identify some of these farming communities. So what I want to say is that, yes, I cannot, and when I get there for the number of communities, I can't say something that I will not be precise. I will not be able to give the exact figures. But what I want to say is that the one village, one dam thing is something that will really help our people a lot, given the fact that...
You said that you will not be able to be precise with a number. I mean, I agree. I thought you have an idea how many villages there are. But even what we do in the various small towns and the villages, how much do you think one dam may cost?
You see, what is happening is that the dams will not have the same sizes and same forms. You have to look at the topology of the area. You have to look at the landscape of the area and even the size of the community. Sometimes it's not necessarily all the community members who will want to go into crop farming or animal farming. It depends upon the need. But what the policy initiative seeks to do or to address is that some communities sometimes may not necessarily need a dam, but the water table there can be good, and you can even drill a borehole and mechanize it so that they can do dry season irrigation farming. The thinking behind this one village, one dam thing is to do dry season irrigation farming.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I mean, if I may ask, even though you are not yet there, on the average, do you think by the time maybe you leave office in, say, 4 years, how many dams do you approximately think you may be able to build?
Mr. Chairman, with due respect, it's not good for me to sit here to speculate. What I just want to say is that it's going to be an ongoing process. In a year, you can target, given the available resources at your hands, one will be able to do A, B, C, D, and then the others it will be a rolling on initiative. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Chairman, I just want to find out, in the same MPP manifesto, there was this issue about livestock development centers. And in the north, I mean...
Definitely. Sometimes somebody somewhere, not physically living there, might have just give one phone call and people start doing this. We need to come to appreciate that when such a problem is there, we shouldn't sit back. The leaders there should come together and move onto the ground. You call the groups involved, talk to them, and try to warn them. And when you give them the first warning, I think that, and send a signal across, people will stop that, because you tell them that if such things continue, you will let the law deal with whoever will be engaged in such activities. And when we start doing that, definitely this thing will come to a stop. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, this one, the Dagombas have a proverb that if your house goat is dead, you probably are not the one to do the burial. Therefore, Chairman, you have to indulge me to acknowledge that the minister is supported by our colleague MPs from the region, Honorable Champong of Sangule, Honorable Alasan of Zabzugo, Honorable Yusuf of Bwale, I saw Honorable Aziz of Miang, and Honorable Shaibu as is popularly referred to, and the Honorable Okaja of Wulesi is also here. So, Chairman, the Honorable Whip, the Whip is here. Oh, my own, if I say what role you play for me, I'll be in trouble, so you understand. My right-hand man, Honorable Dandawa, is here. And Chairman, permit me to premise some of my comments in Dagbanli. And you understand, but I'll translate for your Hansard department, Chairman. So note that Nanama Mene Afanama Jilma ne Empinama Jilma Zo. Tenolazao Napata Jia Kabobile Kane. We intend to reduce, we intend to do this as an evening farm activity for him. And just two concerns that, Chairman, I'd like the nominees' attention would be: one, we need your guarantee of the security of the region. You can count on our support as MPs, as DCs, and as citizens of it. Certainly one of the deprived regions of our country, underdeveloped, there is deficit in infrastructure, there is poverty. But the greatest threat is conflict, chieftaincy, largely driven conflicts in that area. And you have young men, young ya, so come needless. And that is the source of the crisis. Assure this committee that you'll be minister for all of us, and that you will facilitate religious respect for the principle of equality of the law, regardless of who you are. If you commit an offense, you'll be dealt with ruthlessly in accordance with Ghanaian law. That'll be my first question, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, if this House approves my nomination as the Northern Regional Minister, I want to reassure the House that Northern Region, with the support of the Northern Caucus and other key stakeholders, which they are already there, it's just the matter of you giving me the opportunity to become the Northern Regional Minister. The Peace Council is there, other stakeholders are there. I will go and approach them, get them together, we form a think tank, and recognize the institutions and let them own the process. And I can tell you that this thing will be a thing of the past, because His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he has sent a very clear message to the people of Northern Region.